Hello everyone, today's review is about a game called Remnant II. It is a visually stunning, well-designed game built by a game with some serious action-adventure pedigree under their belt. Remnant I always felt like the concept of something great, but always struggled to hold my attention for some reason or another. Even returning to it over the years, I quickly abandoned it for other things. It wasn't bad by any means, just felt like a delicious cooking that had a little too much salt. Remnant II is not that. Remnant II is that over-baked, hot and fresh, perfect texture cookie. Its pacing of content unlocks puzzles and challenge feel perfect. They all serve to let the game world really sink its hooks into you. I get the feeling I'm missing a few references from the first, but ultimately, Remnant II does a great job onboarding fresh players to the series. It's fairly story-heavy up front, but this graduates you into plenty of freedom for long swathes of time, rewarding you with some story at key moments. The story is nothing to write about, but it's entirely digestible and the right level of campy. The story isn't the thing that makes this a GOTY contender though. The gameplay is the true attraction here, oozing with the perfect recipe of Souls, Gears, Division, Bloodborne and Returnal. Many compare it to Elden Ring, as it's one of the more recent titles, but the linear environments deviate a much tighter pacing and discovery that I found far more appealing. I generally tend to get overwhelmed with large open environments where it's easy to worry about missing secrets. Instead, Remnant keeps your attention focused on forward progression, while enticing you to discover the secrets that do exist with one of the best minimaps ever to exist in gaming. This is where the magicians at Gunfire Games do something really unique though. That mostly linear campaign you're playing though. What if I told you it's entirely different than the one your friend is playing though? That hidden dungeon with a really cool set-piece event that lead you to your new favorite weapon. You might not have got to see that. They send you a screenshot and they're fighting aliens with a lesser gun meanwhile you're chopping up angels with a greatsword. Jealous? Join them. Co-op is extremely easy to hop in and out. While any campaign progresses you make in their game is unique to their save. All the experience, items and traits point you earn will come right back to your game. If you do play that some content later in your own campaign, you're also rewarded with a hefty chunk of currency to incentivize your discovery still. Not a fan of multiplayer or haven't convinced friends to pick it up yet? Remnant II has adventure mode, allowing you to play an independent instance of any world you've beat, rerolled with new layouts and experiences, and yes, they loot, new loot. So let's talk loot. This isn't Borderlands or Diablo. This loot is very much Souls-like loot. You get weapons, primary gun, secondary gun, melee weapon, with bespoke attack patterns unique to each weapon, each of which can be upgraded using the materials you find in fairly plentiful supply. That's not to say gearing isn't deep or rewarding, because it absolutely is. On top of enhancing the damage of your weapons, each weapon also has a mode slot and a mutator slot, which allow you customize a weapon further to your class playstyle. As we speak, my marksman rifle has the ability to shoot bullets that ignite enemies for a short period of time, and a mutator that rewards me for staying aimed down sight. Meanwhile, my semi-auto pistol can shoot a giant orb of electricity that slowly floats away and bounces off walls, shocking enemies as it goes. Shooting enemies with weapons recharges these modes, and my chosen rings for slots and amulet further enhance this damage and recharge. Heck, I even have a mutator that recharges my weapon modes a good chunk just for loading. So I mentioned that weapons can complement my class playstyle. That's right, this game has classes. You'll choose from a handful to begin with that are fairly archetypal to RPG lore, if all RPG lore had guns. But without ruining anything, you can also eventually stack a second archetype class and not just the original ones. As I discover more, I'm regularly shocked just how deep it goes. Oh, and for those of you who can't make your mind up and want to try different things, you can easily swap weapons, mods, gear, mutators, and classes at any point. No limit on inventory space either, and covariance is a top 3 worst video game feature. The only thing with a small barrier to respec is your trade points, which provide passive bonuses to recharge rates of things like stamina, damage reduction, etc. But they're plentiful and generally apply to all classes. When you decide to max min on harder difficulty, you'll easily afford a spec if you want it. 2023 has already been a great year for games, but despite everything, Remnant II still manages to stand out amongst. Thank you guys for watching this video, for staying with me, and I'll see you next one. Bye!